Cousin Internet. It's me, Cousin Todd, with Mama's Comedy Show. And with me, it's Cousin Jason.
Hey. Hello.
How you doing?
Doing well. How was your Thanksgiving?
I worked.
Did you?
Yeah. But you know what? I had to wait for the music to end. It was a good spot. Like, you couldn't see it if you were listening to this, but I had a great hand gesture right at the end of the music.
It was beautiful.
But I'm just, as a performer, I have resigned to the fact that I will work every holiday.
Yeah.
So once I made that distinction that I'm going to work every holiday, now it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For Christmas time, because my family constantly wanted to get together for Christmas, and I kept saying, guys, like it's not going to fly. I have to work.
It's a great career if you don't want to see your family.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we do, for the past like 5-6 years, we've done Christmas the week before, where we'll meet somewhere, and it's real easy to take off for that week. But then Christmas Day, I just know I'm working. What about you? What'd you do for Thanksgiving?
We went over to we moved last year, and we went to our old neighbor's house. So we went right next door to our old house.
Yeah.
And every time we go to our old house, we're always like judging the lawn and judging like the paint job, and
they didn't do it as good as you.
Yeah, they are not taking care of our old house.
Yeah. Did you go and like knock on the door and be like, "Hey, listen"?
No, we wanted to, but we don't do that because I think it would be creepy.
Yeah.
But they actually, funny enough, texted us.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving. The people who bought our house texted us Happy Thanksgiving, and I felt guilty for not going over there. We were walking distance.
Yeah, you should have at least gone, "Hey, can I use this toilet for old time's sake?"
Yeah, I'm used to this toilet, and also can I mow your yard, please?
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
I tend to do that with exes, where I show up and I'm like, "Hey, I don't think you've been taking good care of her. Do you want me? Tell you what, let me mow her yard.
Can I trim this for a few minutes?
Listen. You're not using this right. You're not.
You don't know what you're doing here.
Yeah. Do you have Christmas plans?
We don't right now have Christmas plans. We actually started doing this thing. My wife and I, Bobby, we do this thing where Christmas Eve we'll invite people over that kind of like don't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
And we started doing that for years, and COVID hit. We stopped doing it, and this year we're doing the Misfit Christmas Eve party back again.
Right.
It's basically people who just have nowhere to go, and
like people that
over.
you know, or
yeah.
Open your door.
Yeah, we do this big white elephant gift where we exchange gifts and steal them from each other, and it's a thing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Beth, you want to say something?
Come up to the mic.
Yeah, come up to the microphone. Don't just shout it from there. Yeah. You said you were nervous about speaking on microphone, and
she just asked to say something. Then we gave her a chance to say something, and then you're not saying anything.
Now I'm looking at the microphone.
Well, you got to get right up on that microphone. You got to get right up on that.
Me and Jay started that, what you were just talking
Like a holiday thing where people come over?
We still do it. Jay had
nice.
people over last night that had nowhere to go. We still do it. We started it.
Hold on, let me.
Me and Phil started it.
Talk into this one. Now you're afraid of one microphone.
Yeah.
Now you get two.
I'm trying to ignore it. Now I can't.
See, and that's why it took you a long time to have a child.
Why?
You're trying to ignore it. And so go on, holiday plans?
What'd you say?
The holiday party?
Yeah, we went over to Joshua's father, my ex-husband. So he always has an open door policy. So I walked around my senior center and I asked people, if you have nowhere to go, let me know. We'll pick you up. We'll take you to Tampa. You'll have some Thanksgiving dinner.
Did it become a thing every year?
Me and Phil started it because Phil was in AA, my second husband, and there was a lot of people in the rooms that had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So we started an open door policy, and I'm still ignoring them.
Now, I think it's interesting because your son just came in, and what he doesn't realize is that you all told us about his conception.
Yeah.
I told you about the dream that you.
And then how she woke up and told your dad, "Get on this now.
It is time to bone." We need
now that you put it that way, yeah, that is what that story is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I never really put that together till just now.
Yeah, your mom told you that
Is
story.
this on?
Yeah, that's on now. Yeah, everyone heard you talk about smashing your husband to make a baby.
That's disgusting.
I'm saying smush.
Hey, look.
Smush sounds grosser.
When I went into labor with him, we had just seen a movie called Switch, me and Jay.
Yeah.
And it was about a chauvinist that dies and comes back a woman.
Ugh.
And he gets pregnant Well, she gets pregnant.
Right.
And every time she had a contraction, she grabbed his balls so he can be as much pain as she is.
Yeah.
And Jay had this in his head. So every time I got a contraction, he grabbed my hands. But he didn't realize that as the contractions got worse, I could break his hands.
Right.
But he was so afraid I was going to grab his balls. I said, that looks like such a good idea. Why shouldn't you be in pain too?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice way of rewarding your husband.
But don't worry, it's very easy to wake Jay
And you're
up.
not married anymore? Well, that tracks.
She ended up breaking his hands and ripping off his
She
dick.
did.
She was like a pregnant chimpanzee.
But she kept the kid. That's good.
Yes, I kept the kid.
Yeah.
We both kept the kid.
Well, speaking of chimpanzees, have you seen that guy?
When he was born, he was bald and lacked all hair. And we used to look at him for a year, he had no hair. And we used to look at him and go, it's got to come in. Because Jay and me were both hairy people.
Yeah.
And
Which makes that conception night story a lot more interesting. It just sounded like someone constantly undoing Velcro shoes.
I'll just sit here and tap. I am shaking.
Honey, wake
Look
up.
at me.
Get the razor.
Wait, look at me. I'm shaking.
Why are you shaking?
Because it's a mic in front of me.
Yeah. Imagine it's a ding dong.
Yeah.
Beth, get your mouth off of it.
Hey, it would have fun. I could touch my nose with my tongue.
Oh, all right. Well, now she's looking to get
You
pregnant
brought
again.
up blowjobs.
Yeah.
Speaking of blowjobs, what did you do for Thanksgiving?
Not that.
Oh.
We went to Jay. We had a nice time.
Did you have a drumstick? Because that's close.
No. When I was younger, I was very prudish, and I didn't understand a lot. Even by 16, I was still a prudish type.
I would say 16 is young. You're
Yeah.
like, by 16,
Well, most of
I
my
was like,
friends
okay,
by
anal,
16
but you better buy me dinner.
I forgot what I was going to say now.
Oh, you were saying that while you were prudish when you were younger.
No, yeah. And I'm eating. I used to work in a deli, and they had those big sour pickles.
Oh, yeah.
And I used to like to suck out the stuff inside.
You got.
And then eat the
You're making
shell.
the hand gestures for those of you who aren't privileged enough to watch this right now.
We need this needs to be a video podcast.
Yeah, she was simulating eating a pickle,
No,
Go
but
on.
my boss walked
but
by.
with a pro grip.
And I'm sitting there, and my boss walks by, and he goes, "You sure know how to eat a pickle." And I was like, I didn't understand it. I had no idea. It took me like 2 hours. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh.
This is before HR.
Yeah. The good
before
old
the
days.
HR days. He gave you a little slap on the ass. Way to eat that pickle.
Yeah, hun.
Hon.
I did the same thing with a lollipop at work once.
I have this thought every once in a while. This is really like a not good thought to have. But there are nights where we're in here when it's all adults in the room, and we are I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but Mama's is a very female heavy audience.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't.
Like
I never
it's
noticed that.
even in all of our social media, it's like 64% women. Really lopsided with nurses and first responders because of the dark material.
Sure.
But there are nights where there's like a full audience in here, and I go, I bet you every woman in this place has had a dick in her mouth at least once. Like, what are the chances that if you're like, hey, who hasn't had a dick in their mouth, that one of
My
them would be
mother
like,
never got
hey.
No, my mother never got the diamond earrings. My father kept saying, "You give me a blowjob, I'll buy you diamond earrings." She never got the diamond earrings. So I don't think that ever worked.
Well, with your parents.
Yeah.
Well, my mother tells me, I am older. I've done so much more than you. There's nothing you have done that I haven't done. So I said, Mom, in that case, I got mink handcuffs downstairs.
Whoop.
I have 2 pair. I got it in my bridal shower.
And this is the prude.
Yeah, that's something I don't want to have that conversation with my mom.
Oh, we
No.
were very open. In my house, you could, over dinner, you talked about these things.
Yeah.
They were very open as long as I never did it until I was married.
Yeah, this is a bejeweled butt plug, honey. Just don't use it.
Until you're married.
But we're gonna leave this on the counter.
Well, I still come from the generation of good girls and bad girls.
No, we still have that,
We-
except
yeah.
it's like a sexual thing. Are you a good girl? Oh yeah, you're a bad girl.
Yeah, we celebrate both in different ways. And
Yeah.
the transition from a good girl to a bad girl.
They both involve
Yeah, I kinda
spankings of some sort.
They do.
I kind of
Can you go
transitioned.
from a good girl back to a bad? Can you go from a bad girl back to a good
Yes.
girl?
Yeah,
You
Go-
can.
As I got older, yes.
Oh.
I went from good to bad to good.
But she's still a little bad. You saw her simulate that
know
pickle
what?
eating.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
knows what she's doing.
She knew exactly what she
You don't use 2 hands to eat a pickle. Come on.
That's how I was eating it.
Twisted it.
Because I was sucking out the inside.
No, we know exactly what you were doing.
That means you're doing it right.
Yeah, so I learned.
I speaking of good boys and good girls,
At least I'm making you laugh.
I was a late bloomer. As far as I had this when I was growing up, I watched old movies like Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers,
me
just
too.
the classic movies. I listened to early American popular song, Irving Berlin, Cole Porter, like the Frank Sinatra stuff.
Mhm.
And I had this dumb in my brain, there's just one love. Because that's what every story was. Every
Yes.
story was you get one and that's it. And so I had this like naive belief. I was like, no, I'm not gonna. I dated a lot. Like I made out a lot, but I didn't I didn't round that final base
Yeah.
until I was 17.
Yeah.
And well, then it was just all downhill because then I was like, now I
Saying
love
the
all
doves
of them.
didn't come out of the sky.
Something came out.
And
But I remember like I think about those times fondly. That I mean, now that I'm married, I just look back on those and go, at least I've got those memories. And then I think about things like people who get dementia and they start saying stuff like they talk about their childhood, and I'm like, oh shit, what if that happens to me? And like my wife is there trying to be supportive, and I'm like, yeah, Sheila, put on that other outfit, put that up my butt. What?
Oh my goodness.
Again?
Maybe that's the cure for dementia. You just shove something. The prescription is just size.
It wakes you right up. I don't think that they've tried that in science. They need to.
Well, I've said before, famously,
What
I've
did they
said
need to try. I missed that.
butt plugs.
Oh.
I famously said,
But not till you're married.
what if the cure for cancer was just filling your butthole up with peanut butter?
I mean,
was
has anybody done that?
Nobody's tried it.
You never know. You really never know.
I need a lab.
Wait a minute. Creamy or crunchy?
You got to try. You got to try both.
You got to try both.
Yeah. Do you have a preference?
I prefer crunchy.
Yeah.
Because
to eat or up your butt?
I got to think about that one.
Yeah. Well, I guess that depends on the other. Do you prefer
I'm smooth.
creamy or crunchy?
Smooth.
See.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, she
creamy,
prefers
smooth.
creamy.
If you're gonna put peanut butter in your butt, you got to you got to ask your partner what they're into.
You know, I feel like if you had the crunchy kind, the nuts would kind of like create these weird openings where the
Ew,
creamy
yeah.
would fill everything. You know,
Yeah, but
it's
the
cleaner.
crunchy would. I think crunchy would scratch up the inside of your butthole.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah,
Creamy is much better.
yeah.
Yeah, Josh, your mom was telling us that she put creamy peanut butter in her butthole.
She's telling us about the day after your conception.
You almost had the name Jif.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Don't make me spit my soda out.
Or Skippy.
Skippy. I had to switch
Peter
to
Pan.
Jif. He liked Jif better than Skippy.
Yeah.
I was raised on Skippy.
Yeah.
So.
You know what though? The peanut butter for eating purposes, I love like the cheapest peanut butter you can find. It's so good because it's just full of sugar and stuff. But in our house, we only have like the all natural.
The kind that you have to turn over because of all the oil. And
Yeah.
stuff?
I have a dedicated peanut butter stirrer.
Oh,
Like it's a crank that you put in the jar and
Really?
you
I
turn
never-
it and it mixes everything up.
We used to make that in GNC when GNC first started.
Yeah.
When I worked in the mall in GNC, there were lines out the door, lines
For
every
peanut
day
butter?
for everything. And one of the things they did is they ground their own peanut butter back then. And
Yeah.
we used to stand and grind the peanut butter. And we used to have to memorize, try your zesty sunflower seeds, and
Yeah.
we used to have to shout it out to the mall as we're making peanut butter.
They do not do that at GNC anymore.
GNC is nothing like it was when I was working there. That
know,
was packed.
I did, speaking of GNC, I did like a bunch of, for years, I did their corporate video stuff
yeah.
for GNC. And this one video shoot, we wrote this Bagger Vance parody for the head of the company at the time. His name, I'll never forget, his name was Mike Myers. But we wrote this Bagger Vance style story, and where he was on the golf course and he was having trouble with his game, and we ended up having a lion show up. with Tiger Woods. I don't remember like what this had to do with the story, but it was important that we had a lion. And I think when I wrote it in there, I thought, there's no way they're going to let us do this. And then they came back and they were like, can you guys find a lion trainer with a lion? And our answer was just yes.
Wow.
So we found this guy. He brought a 450-pound lion.
Oh, no.
And he brought a tiger just in case the lion wasn't cooperative. And then he brought
more
some,
appropriate with Tiger Woods.
some white Bengal tigers for us to play with. But let me tell you, I don't know how close you've ever been to a lion.
Not that close.
Not that close.
It was so they tell you this story, or they tell you this. They give you a speech whenever you have animals on set. There's a safety person. The safety person was the guy who owned the lion, and there was a team of them. And they said, "Don't make eye contact with the lion. He'll think you're challenging him. Don't turn your back on the lion, because he won't like that and he might come after you.
There's rules.
If he starts staring at you,
Oh, no.
just kind of look away, but don't turn away." And I said, and if he starts to run at you, don't run. We'll get in the way. And I said, yeah, fucking right. If that lion starts running, I am gone. And I'm pretty sure I could outrun it.
To that logic, if you run away and they get in the way, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're just a little further away.
Yeah.
No, but
The
you'll
lion
make
will
the
just
lion
drag them.
chase more. That's what
So
they're afraid of.
we were
Like a
shooting
dog
something.
when you run.
The lion was being uncooperative for the first couple
What does
takes.
uncooperative mean for a lion?
Not giving us the takes that we want to get. Like, he had to lay down, and the trainers were there. Mind you, he had a chain around his neck, like he had a collar and a chain that someone was holding on to that we were just digitally going to brush out later. My 30-pound dog can drag my wife across a yard. So a 450-pound lion, this dude who was like 200 pounds is just going to be,
Exactly.
It's going to look like one of the doggy bags dragging behind my dog's leash.
Right.
So he's not laying down, and the guy says, all right, tell you what, we're going to go put him back in the truck for a few minutes, let him calm down, which is not something you want to hear him say, because like then he's thinking this thing is agitated. And it's the way that we had it set up is the camera guy was right in front of me, is my friend Brad. I was directly behind Brad. No one else could be around because we didn't want a big, more potential victims.
Right, sure.
So, no, not Tiger Woods. It was the CEO showed up. So the lion turns to walk past us, and as it does, it just lets out this,
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
which sounded like a sigh, but that sound hit me in the chest. Well, first it hit the camera guy in the chest, traveled through him, hit me, like I've never heard a sound pass through me like that.
Yeah, it's loud.
And you
And
all
as
shit your
soon
pants.
as it passed back, just about.
Yeah.
As soon as it passed, the camera guy turns to me and he goes, "Did you see how fucking close that lion was to us?" Anyway, we all fucked it. And
But you looked at it. But
Yeah,
not
I was
really
there to
looked
watch.
yeah, it came
That
back.
would have been a scene.
at it. Yeah. That could be a scene.
It was fine. It ended up being fine. But yeah, that was my lion story.
And
Wow.
is that on video somewhere in
Somewhere.
GNC world?
I'm sure someone at GNC has it. Like, we did these videos for probably 12 years.
Nice.
Maybe that's why GNC died.
Yeah, no, they actually they started moving their conventions. Like, when we stopped, they started moving their conventions out to Disney, and part of Disney's package was they have their own people to do that.
Oh, okay.
But we still had some people on crew that said the videos weren't very good after that.
And that's why they stopped churning their own peanut butter
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It
what
all comes
that's what I
around
thought. Yes.
for Thanksgiving. What did you do for Thanksgiving, Beth?
I thought I went to my ex-husband's house.
Yeah.
Josh. And,
Yeah.
That's right.
Smushed.
That's right. Yeah, you smushed. Yeah.
We smushed.
Yeah.
We smushed. Okay.
You said God said,
Put it in.
even though we're no longer together, here's some peanut butter.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a conversation we had before we started
And
the
you would
podcast.
prefer creamy too.
But but yeah, Beth was telling us how she woke up from a dream,
Oh no.
and in her dream, God told her not to, because you're trying to have a baby, not to have a surgery, to just let your husband go to Pound Town.
Right. Right now.
That's an interesting translation of it, but yeah.
I mean, I think that's biblically accurate.
Yeah. I think that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Pountaunus the second, verse 5.
Yeah. So that's good. That Josh did. How do you feel about being a miracle child?
Well, I do have a very high ego, and I consider myself the Lord. So
You just okay. Well,
That's good.
When I yell at him, he tells me, "God King."
that's got to be good luck.
that's why I got that weird sofa. It looks like a weird throne you'd see in the '80s. In the Superdome.
Yeah.
My
Looks
chair
like an old lady
lady
sofa.
chair.
I made the mistake of that because I forget that the old ladies at my place are old. And I said, my son got this chair. It looks just like it looks
Yeah.
like an older person's chair.
It looks
I
like
was gonna
something you
say
would
old
have.
lady in front of them.
You don't wanna make fun of
This
the old
was her
ladies.
chair, then she died, and my son bought it.
Yeah.
Oh.
We should have
It's
asked if
cursed.
they knew her.
So you're the king of a dead person's chair.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
Did you ever sit in
That
it and wonder
tracks.
if that old lady got railed on it?
Oh no, she never got the chair. She
Oh.
special ordered it and then died before she could.
That's
Oh, so
actually
it's
what happened.
pretty
we got
new.
it for $250,
Oh.
a $2,000 chair. She had it custom made. The only thing we didn't like about it was the material. It looked like a 90-year-old chair.
That's
You
a
know?
great business model of like, hey, let's go into business where we buy things that don't make it to old people. Like we just follow their Amazon orders and
You
check
get
their
things
health.
cheap. We got it for $250.
Yeah, but furniture costs, it depends on what you get.
I mean,
Yeah, but we can charge a phone in his chair. She custom made the chair and
You
then
can
died.
charge a phone in the chair?
Yes.
Oh, with a USB plug.
Yes.
All right, what happens when they change that and you can't use a USB plug anymore?
Then you're fucked.
Then see?
you got to get a dongle.
You gotta
I'm allowed to curse
you
on
got to
it.
find a new old person
Yeah.
to steal their chair.
That's why I brought her to the senior center. This is how good
Oh.
furniture.
Oh. You're going to furnish your house with all these cursed objects.
And they're all very old looking and mismatched.
One of the women at my place, she's very wealthy.
Yeah.
So one day I'm just discussing with someone else that my Keurig broke. And next day she handed me a Keurig. And I go, how much should I give you? And she goes, don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. And that's it.
It fell off an old person.
No, she likes, she likes to help people. And I think she's like a wonderful lady for doing that.
I've said this like one of the last Christmases that I got stuff from my grandma. I remember buying something and thinking, what can I get for this at that awkward yard sale we're going to have in about 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the resale value of this?
And now we're back to butt plugs.
Yes, we are.
Just get something for yourself and be like, "You'll love this, Grandma."
Yeah, and then just wait.
Nintendo Switch.
When my grandfather died, my grandfather was 6'4".
Oy.
And when he died, I went to her house. She lived in South Florida, and I went there to help her go through things. And she kept going, do you want this suit? I was like,
Wow.
no, I don't want this. And then she had this powder blue tuxedo jacket. And I went, yeah, I actually do. I had it altered. I was like, I do want that. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty badass.
To alter that, it probably costs. You could probably could have got another powder blue suit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Mm.
There were two jackets that I was like, yeah, sure. There was the powder blue tuxedo jacket, which looked like the Gangnam Style jacket.
Oh, nice.
And then there was another jacket that they were boaters or yachts. Like
Yeah.
they had a houseboat that they would take out over the summer. It was just a white suit jacket covered in anchors.
Uh-huh.
It looked like what every 80s movie billionaire
Classy.
wore, like when he was yelling at his servants. So I was like,
On
yeah.
the yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel so old right now because when I got married to his father, Jay, his tuxes were part of from the 80s, Dynasty collection.
Oh.
So everything looked like something from Dynasty.
My guess is nothing from that collection was worn on the show.
No.
Would you say that's accurate?
Nothing.
No.
We couldn't afford the stuff they were wearing on the show.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good point.
Dynasty was about a billionaire.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dynasty, I think there was
Didn't they try to bring Dallas?
Dallas. That's the
Didn't they try to bring that show back? Didn't they do
Yes,
like,
they
they
just
did
bought
recently.
back Dynasty, and it's still on.
is it really?
Dynasty?
Yeah, Dynasty's back.
But it's not. It's new. It's all different people.
I watched the first episode of Wednesday.
How was that?
I watched
It's
about
good.
3/4 of it, and I just fell asleep.
Yeah.
Not because the show's bad. I just started at 1:00 in the morning.
Yeah,
it
no,
looks
it's
good.
I'm down. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
I'm looking forward to it. Josh saw it on the TV yesterday.
She's gonna
so-
be
Yeah.
that. I said to Renette like while we were watching, I was like, oh, what's her name? Jenna. Oh, what's her name?
The actress that plays
Yeah.
Wednesday. Yeah, I don't know who she is.
Yeah. Hey Siri, who plays Wednesday Addams on the TV series Wednesday? Let's see. Jenna Ortega.
Jenna.
Oh,
Ortega.
okay.
We were watching it, and I said to Renette, I was like, "Oh, that girl's going to be like such a huge star." And then she was like, "Well, what has she done so far?" And then I just listed off the things that I knew off the top of my head. Then I was like, "Oh shit, never mind. She's already she's already there."
What has she done?
She was in the last Scream movie. She's in the next Scream movie.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't see that yet.
She was in The Babysitter. She was in
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
She
now.
was in the,
Okay. Took
the-
me a minute.
the Netflix series You.
Okay, yeah.
Like she's done a lot of stuff that I was like, and she's like rumored to be playing a Marvel character at some point too.
I've got to say, I'm a little bit upset that they took. I mean, I know she's too old now. They took Christina Ricci. Oh,
Yeah.
that's my Wednesday.
She's
Right.
too old.
And then I know she's too old now, but I always had a crush on her. As
But they gave her
kinda grew up
they put her in there.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's the part I started falling asleep to. Maybe I was soothed by her beauty.
Aw.
Yeah, it was a nice passing of the torch
Yeah.
though, of her giving her like the black dahlia flower and
Yeah, that's exactly.
But it's
the
funny. My Wednesday's the Addams Family TV show.
Yes.
That's
Yes, for
the
sure.
Wednesday I remember.
Renette, my assistant Renette, was watching. She was viewing with me,
Mhm.
and she said that she didn't like the Gomez, and because
Oh,
she said, well, Raul Julia, and I was like, yeah, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's more accurate to the cartoon or like the comic
Yeah.
version of him, and she's like, no, I get that, and I was like, and besides, like Raul Julia killed it, like he
Yes.
was so good. That if you just put another handsome guy to do Raul Julia,
That's true.
it would
That's
just be
true.
compared to him rather than going, hey, let's do
This
the
is
cartoon.
a
and,
new take of it.
Yeah.
That's right. And I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Catherine Zeta-Jones? I didn't.
She's
I didn't love
incredible.
it at first.
she looks exactly like what you expect
She
her to
does.
look like.
She does.
Like there was no surprises. It was, but she looks great as Catherine Zeta-Jones.
She does.
Oh, okay.
She does.
Yeah, I would smush that.
I would
You would
wake
smush
up in the
that.
middle of the night and say, God said Michael Douglas can't have you anymore.
Are they
Can
still
I
together?
use that an excuse for anything? God told
Yeah.
me to do it. Would it
That's what
work?
I'm saying.
Welcome to every war since the beginning of time.
Yes, I know.
All right, we should start wrapping things up so we can set up here.
All right.
Jason,
Yes, Todd.
what did you learn tonight?
What I learned tonight is that I would like to see Beth eat a pickle
Give me a lollipop.
because
It
I've
works
heard
just the
she's
same.
very good at it.
Yeah. Beth, what have you learned tonight?
Honestly, I learned that I won't die if you stick a microphone in front of me.
You won't put it in your mouth either.
I won't pass out because that's how I just feel sometimes like I'm going to pass out.
And I learned something tonight too.
What did you learn, Todd?
I learned that I'm not jealous of Josh, who has heard the story of his mom and dad fucking countless times.
He agrees.
All right. We're Mama's Comedy Show. We're here every Friday night at 8 p.m. Call 473-631-1985. Jason, where can people find you?
People can find me at Acting Jason on Instagram, Facebook, and whatever else is out there.
Acting Jason. Did you
Acting
sign up for a
Jason.
Hive account?
I did not sign up for a Hive account.
You better do it before
Yeah.
before you have to be Acting Jason 2.
Two. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who wants to do that?
I'm at Todders on Instagram and on Twitter, well, as long as Twitter exists, and at Todders on Hive. If you want to join the new social media platform Hive, I'm Hive on there, or Duty Poo Poo. If you know what we used to do is
On
we had
Xbox.
on Xbox, but also on bit a little Snapchat. I'm Duty Poo Poo.
Oh, okay.
We had a cousin Tony was one of our original cousins here, who's gone on to like Disney management, so he can't really be on stage and have a scene about sucking down a pickle.
Right.
Now I want a pickle.
But that's an innuendo.
Yeah, I know.
But we used to, because he was the only one of us that never swore. He was super clean all the time. So when we were doing the podcast, we would always say, hey, send dick pics to Tony, cousin Tony. And we would give out his Facebook account. And I don't know how many he actually got, if he got any, but I was thinking about that the other day. That was a good bit. I wish more people would send him dick pics.
That's fantastic.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Oh, wait.
You're still here.
December 23rd
Yeah.
will be our 13th annual Christmas show.
Oh.
Can I bring food?
Yeah, we'll put a placemat down so you don't make a mess. So we'll have all the pickles you want.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.